Hello, my dear friends. How are you doing? Hope you are having an amazing day and not having to deal with drama. Ready for new stories I have for you today? Let's go to the first one. And don't forget to listen to the end of the story, guys, to hear my insights. Enjoy the stories. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, don't forget to leave a comment. I, 27 male, was with my now ex-girlfriend, 27 female, for about 5 years until she broke it off with me because she wants to see other people. It hurt like hell, but I get it. The heart wants what the heart wants. The issue that I had with the whole thing is she refused to move out. I own the home outright as it was left to me by my grandparents, and my ex is a grad student that is laid off. She has no family here, and I guess none of her friends can house her for a few days, let alone long term. She doesn't pay for anything other than her food. I mean, nothing. No utilities or rent. In the relationship, I was fine with it, but now I find the notion crazy. I asked her to leave in 30 days, but I can't force it due to virus, and she knows it. She has apologized a few times and has said she only needs 16 more months, and I thought that was absolutely mad to even request. I cut her access to the internet, changed all my passwords, and keep everything I don't want her to touch in my room behind a locked door. She won't budge. She goes to campus for her homework, and Netflix isn't very costly. So I went drastic, and I asked my brother to move into the other bedroom. He doesn't clean the bathroom. He doesn't flush half the time. He walks around in shorts 24/7. The house smells like city barbecue, and she's vegan. He plays music all day. He plays porn throughout the day and night. He doesn't take out the trash often, and he parks his truck in the middle of the driveway, so she has to walk further to her car. My ex lasted about a week before she cracked and went to her school's legal department. I know this because she told me. And she asked me to stop it all because they can't do anything for her. She called the police, but that went even worse for her. I told her he'd move out the next day if she gave me a written letter saying she would vacate in 30 days. She broke down saying she can't. My love for her is gone. All I see is a leech now, and just one are gone. But she's definitely struggling. Her mom called me and asked me to stop it, and she would send me $100 a month. I don't want the money, but I know her mom is on a tight budget, so if she's offering it, her daughter must be on the verge of breaking, right? Not the a-hole. Do not break. Do not cave. Your ex is a leech. Do not ask your brother to move out until she leaves. What she is doing is crazy. How short-sighted do you have to be to break up with someone who covers literally all of your housing expenses when you have nowhere else to go? How did she think this was going to work out? I'm going to see other people and bring them back to your house to hook up after? Not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. Holy crap, this is a great solution. Regardless of your motives, you have every right to invite your brother to move in. If she doesn't like it, she can leave. Your ex does have options. She just doesn't like them. If it's not worth living there, she's more than welcome to leave. Try to get an exception to legally evict her. Everyone sucks here. She is definitely taking advantage of you to expect you, her ex, to pay her rent and utilities for another year and a bit. But asking your brother to move in to make the home inhospitable is passive-aggressive rubbish. And your brother is an animal. How was anyone else cohabitating with him before he moved in with you? You need to sit down and have an adult conversation with her that having her living in your home after she broke it off is preventing you from moving on with your life, and she is simply taking advantage of you, expecting you to fund her lifestyle. Work out what her full share of rent and utilities would look like. Add up what she would have owed if she had started to pay since breaking up with you, and project forward to 16 months from now. Tell her that total, and ask her if she would have asked you to gift her that much cash, because that's essentially what she's asking you to do. Her working out how she is going to pay for living elsewhere is not your problem to solve, but she needs to go. Mother-in-law had my husband when she was very young, and then had twin girls when he was 21. I know she did IVF just because that is apparently something people ask you when you have twins, and she has never denied it. I didn't think anything of it, as I know plenty of people who need IVF. Mother-in-law and I have never gotten along. She's pretty much a mother-in-law from hell. Anyway, we were at a family dinner recently, and mother-in-law's niece said she wanted to do IVF because she isn't getting pregnant. Her husband asked mother-in-law's husband if insurance covers it. Mother-in-law's husband said they didn't have a referral, so he paid out of pocket. Everyone thought that was weird, so he admitted they only did IVF because he wanted kids. Mother-in-law didn't really, but mother-in-law agreed if they could guarantee girls, she would do it. Everyone at the table definitely thought that was weird. Now, I know some women have gender disappointment, and that is valid, But mother-in-law isn't even that girly. One of the things she hates in me is actually that I am a huge girl. I'd say she is somewhere in the middle with a strong tomboyish side, and they both encourage their daughters to be rough, adventurous, and unemotional, so I was surprised. I asked why she wants girls so much when she isn't even that girly and doesn't even like me for being such a girly girl. Mother-in-law tried to brush it off, but I stared at her, and finally she admitted that she never wanted another son due to the issues with my husband and how he acts due to me. She even casually said he was a loser, so obviously his feelings were hurt. When she left, her mom yelled at me for pressing her like that and said I shouldn't be asking her private questions. My husband says I shouldn't have pressed for an answer. To be honest, I thought it was okay because her husband volunteered that information. Yes, the a-hole. What you did is a classic narcissist strategy. You pushed, prodded, and baited her into a reaction. Then, when she can't take it anymore and reacts, you sit back with your hands up saying, "Look how terrible she is. I didn't do anything." Guessing she isn't the mother-in-law from hell. She just sees you for who you are and is disappointed your husband, her son, can't. I'm not sure what you were going to gain by pressing her. I'm also not sure if you mutually hate each other. Why go to family dinners? She openly insulted your husband. Why can't you just see other family members if you want, separately? You didn't think it was okay because her husband brought it up. You wanted to provoke her because you didn't drop it when she didn't answer at first. Everyone sucks here because I get the feeling you love creating drama as much as she does. Everyone sucks here. If she dodged the question, you should have let it go. You aren't owed an explanation for her life decisions. And just because she isn't super feminine and doesn't like girly girl stuff doesn't mean she doesn't like girls. Girls have a wide variety of interests and personalities. It's actually great that she didn't avoid girls just for that reason. That would have been trash. She's also the a-hole for calling her son a loser. Some background to help explain. My 28 female, ex, 29 male, and I were together for 5 years and recently broke up a few months ago. It was amicable and things had been going well, but ultimately I felt we weren't going anywhere anymore, and so I ended things. I loved our time together, however, and have many photos of us on my Instagram. I cherish these memories and love these photos, and so I have kept them on my page. He deleted all of the pictures of us on his own Instagram though, which hurt, but it's his profile and he can do with it what he wants. Now he has a new girlfriend, 25 female. He messaged me the other day and asked me why I still have photos of us on IG together. I told him that those pictures meant a lot to me, so why would I delete them? Also, some extra info. I have suffered many concussions and have a really hard time with short and long-term memory, so photos in general mean a lot to me, and I take many. He told me that his girlfriend looked at my page and saw all these photos of he and I together, and it made her upset because some of them were somewhat recent, 3 months ago, and there were a lot of them. I told him that his new girlfriend's feelings are not my problem, and that I wouldn't be deleting these photos. Now he's texting me saying that they got in a little fight about how he should be making this happen for her if he really cared, and that I'm putting a strain on his new relationship by keeping these photos up, and therefore am being vindictive. Even though this has put a bit of a negative taste on my memories with him, I still cherish them and want to keep those photos. Not to mention, it's my personal IG, and I feel like I can post what I want. It's not like I posted anything of us together after we had broken up, and she didn't have to creep my page. Although I get it, we've all been there. I think she's being immature, and he is being unreasonable, but knowing that this has caused them to fight does make me feel bad, because I do want him to be happy. Am I the a-hole for not deleting these pictures? Not the a-hole. Tell her to stop looking at your profile then. She has no right to dictate what you have on your profile. Alternatively, just block both her and your ex from looking at your profile. Yes, the a-hole. I don't agree with the girlfriend. Personally, a partner who has an amicable relationship with their previous partner is a green flag for me. However, when someone asks you to take down pictures that they are in, you take them down. Doesn't matter why. It's just common decency. It doesn't matter if it's your personal page or if you only have 2 followers. If someone expresses that they want photos of themselves off your page, the non-a-hole thing to do is delete the photos. He's not asking you to delete them from your phone. You can screenshot the post if you don't have copies on your phone, but you should delete them from your page. Not the a-hole, but your ex is. He's dating a woman who is actually stalking you. Tell him that. She's checking you out to see what her competition is, because he still obviously likes talking to you. Then, tell him good luck with his immature, insecure stalker girlfriend. because he's going to need it. Keep those pics up. Like I tell everyone, you don't like what you see? Turn your head. Don't like what you hear on the radio? Change the station. Don't like what's on TV? Turn it off. Neither has any right to tell you what to do. Edit. I have since blocked her, as many have suggested, and he has mentioned that he doesn't care that the pictures are of him. The only real issue is his girlfriend knowing that those pictures exist. I take care of my appearance, dress appropriately depending on the situation, wear makeup, and just try to appear presentable. I was raised to make sure my home is spotless, especially when guests are visiting. Let's put it this way. There's an ongoing joke that I'm a neat freak, which I'm okay with because they aren't wrong, and it is a joke. My friend Claire, fake name, is the opposite of me. She tends to dress how she likes regardless of the occasion, which is fine on the most part, as long as you are comfortable, and tends to be a bit of a slob. I've been to her home once, and I was pretty shocked at how bad it was. The sink was full of dishes with mold on them, dirt on the walls, smell of cigarettes in the air. The floors were stained and had animal feces on it throughout the house, and her bathroom, full of hair, water damage, and mold. This includes in the bath itself. I never said anything to Claire about it, as I knew it was rude to comment, but it was incredibly uncomfortable being there. Claire, on the other hand, loves to comment on how much of a snob I am. It started as jokes, but now it is constant backhanded comment. I laughed at first, but started to tell her to cut it out. In response, she always goes, "Yes, Your Highness," and starts mocking my mannerisms and voice. It's pretty insulting. So I had a few friends round at my house, including Claire, for a game night, as it was my turn to host. All was well, until Claire started mocking me again. She was insulting, calling me a snob and up myself, and commenting on how it was obvious I was pretending to be high society because of my profession. I told her to cut it out, but claimed she was kidding. She continued now and again, until I won a round of gang beasts. She said, "Oh, Miss Fancy Pants won again. I bow to your Royal Highness in defeat. I'm sure this will add to your huge ego." I snapped and told her to cut that crap out, as she wasn't funny and is being rude. Claire laughed, saying she was only kidding, but added, "Look, I know you're a snob and all, but you need to cut loose. Stop being so sensitive." She began telling me how I had a sensitive ego, and that even though she was kidding, it had some truth to it. I stopped her and told her, "Well, at least I'm not a dirty slob, but don't worry, I'm just kidding." She got angry, saying I proved her point. I told her that how she was feeling is exactly how I feel about her comments. She said everyone else jokes about it, and I pointed out that they are clearly doing it in jest, but she was doing it constantly. She then said how it's not different, and said I was just proving everyone right by saying she was a slob. She then said I was an a-hole, and I told her if she felt like that, then get out of my house. She left, and there was a bit of awkwardness. Some of my friends said that I was overreacting, and that she seemed like it was a joke, telling me that kicking her out was too much. I don't think so. She was having cheap jabs at me in my home. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. You asked her to stop. She persisted in your home. That's rude and uncalled for. Info. Does the friend group go to her house for game night? Surely they know she lives in a pigsty. The nasty friend is obviously jealous of your success and motivation in life. Not the a-hole. Sounds like she's a little jealous. You asked her repeatedly to stop. You shouldn't have to take that, especially in your own home. You're not the a-hole. Look, I'm a slob, meaning I tend to have some cups in my room and some socks on the floor. Having poop in your floor is not being a slob. It's absolutely disgusting. She is clearly being disrespectful, but since I wasn't there, I can't say if you should or shouldn't have kicked her out. What I can say is even if you shouldn't have kicked her out, you are definitely not the a-hole. I, female, 20, attended a large family event and my old boyfriend, let's call him Tom, who is also friends with my current boyfriend, was there. Me and Tom ended on bad terms, but we were civil. We were seated on the same table for food, so I made small talk with his family and him, just to be nice, as they are also family friends. Other than that, we didn't speak at all night. The next day, my boyfriend, 21, Lou, messaged me very angry, claiming I had been with Tom all night, flirting and being handsy with each other. This part might seem complicated. Apparently, Tom's mom had told Tom's cousin, who was not at the event, and they told Lou's brother that I had been doing what I was accused of. And like I said previously, I was sat with him for about an hour tops. Lou's brother told his mom about this, causing her to curse me massively to my boyfriend, who then argued with me. He didn't let me speak or even listen to what I had to say. He said he didn't believe me, and when he knew the definite truth, he would leave me. I was in tears, but still wouldn't let me speak. After about 2 hours of ignoring my texts, he finally believed I was being truthful, after he found out that Tom's cousin had told Lou's brother they saw me with him as they were there. This was not truthful, and I very reluctantly messaged Tom to tell him about this. He then asked his mom what had been said, and we figured out words had been twisted from Lou's brother. Now Lou understands I was telling the truth, but refuses to confront his brother, as it doesn't matter now, he claims. But his whole family now thinks I am a cheater and I am unwelcome at their house. His mom already finds excuses to not like me every now and then, so therefore she now has the whole reason to think bad of me. Why I might be the a-hole because I am upset with him and have a minor argument about it. Edit. Just to clarify, mine and Tom's relationship was when we were a lot younger. Literal children. Nothing ever happened between us, but it still bothers Lou. They became friends after me and Lou got together. Not the a-hole, but I think you need to realize this problem where your boyfriend lets his family treat you like crap goes beyond this incident and cannot be entirely blamed on his family, and ask if you really want to stick around for that. Not the a-hole. How much does it respect you if a family member directly tries to destroy your relationship and he didn't care enough to say anything? Is he even mad, or is he just avoiding confrontation? I think that he's just avoiding confrontation because he doesn't want to deal with his mom. What the duck? I need a map to figure out all the relationships and who said what to whom. Please don't take that as a question. I don't really care enough. Here's the deal. Why in the world would you want to be associated with and hurt by a family that behaves that way? It's not just your boyfriend, but his mother, cousins, aunts, friends, etc., etc., etc. You certainly don't need to be worrying about whether you're an a-hole for defending your own reputation. Here's what you should do. Run, not the a-hole.